Hello and welcome to another episode of the Amazing Nerdiverse. I'm Jeff Grants.
I'm Jeff Grants.
Liar.
Stephen Tugert.
Okay.
Or am I? Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
That's me.
This is the podcast where we talk about all the hot button issues. We decide
Politics,
who can marry
religion, who
we
can
decide
marry who,
which bathrooms to use.
right?
All that stuff. No,
All...
incorrect. This is the podcast where we talk about all things good and geeky in the Amazing Nerdiverse. This week we're going to do a couple reviews, and including reviews of the mid-season finales of Arrow and Flash.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, we got some movie news.
Movie news.
First up, there's a new Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 trailer.
Mm-hmm.
We watched that earlier. What were your thoughts on it?
I liked it. I like that I still don't know what it's really about.
Yeah.
It just looks good.
Yeah, I mean, we know because we pay attention to like what the news that comes out and stuff. We know that Kurt Russell's going to be in it, and he's going to play Star-Lord's dad. Spoiler alert. It's everywhere. You probably know it by now.
Yeah. Unless you're a nerd.
Yeah, nerds don't know this stuff. But we haven't seen a second of Kurt Russell. They showed some stuff of him in Hall H this year at Comic-Con, but we still haven't seen it.
There's like a giant octopus thing in it that they're fighting.
The obelisk, yeah, that thing is cool.
What if that's like the opening of the movie?
Yeah, that's what I think it looks like.
Yeah.
I think most of the stuff we're seeing is from that. From the opening of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The obelisk, there's some crazy space fights going on.
Space fights, giant squid.
Yeah.
Some jokes.
Drax diving right into the mouth of that giant squid monster.
Well, yeah, what else is he going to do?
Yeah. Stabbing it. Like he was stabbing it in the insides. That was pretty great. I mean, the thing that's going to pop out to everyone is Baby Groot.
Right.
You thought people loved Groot before.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's a baby.
He's a little tiny, he's smaller than Rocket.
Yeah, it's the cutest little voice ever.
Trying to press a button.
I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. No! Yeah, that thing is gonna... There's gonna be so many of those under Christmas trees this time next year.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I
want one too. I'm talking about my Christmas tree specifically. I want a Baby Groot of my very own. I was also excited the last scene that we see in there, the introduction of Mantis. That's the girl that she's psychic and everything. She's a really cool character in the Guardians of the Galaxy comics that came out in like 2008 or whatever when they revamped the characters.
Mm-hmm.
In the comics, she's green, but they kind of got enough green characters on their hands in the Guardian movies. So,
Rocket.
Yeah, you picked the one that's not.
Just
but
the one?
Well, Drax is like he's a little
bluish.
more gray now.
Yeah.
In the comics, he was straight up green. Gamora's green. She stayed green in the movie. Mantis is green. And if there's another character that might come along later in the movies, which I hope because he was a funny kind of character named Bug, who looks like a green
bug.
Like like a grasshopper or something. But yeah. Mantis is a cool character. I'm glad to seeing them adding another person from the comics in there.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to, we're going to be seeing more of Nebula and Yondu in there. There was not a lot of them in the trailers. So I can't wait to see more of, because Rooker. Love Michael Rooker.
Mm-hmm.
And as Yondu is just so
do you
great.
think he's going to kind of join the team
I think he joins the team, yeah.
Okay.
I think the Ravagers kick him out. And
they kick him out?
I think they kick him out. And
well, then who's in charge? James Gunn's brother?
Yeah. It's the perks. It's perks of being the brother of the director. Okay, so there was another little teaser for a teaser, which annoys the hell out of me. Like, like a couple days before, they'll do the teaser for the teaser, and it's like a little, 5, 10. In this case, it was like 18-second thing.
Yeah.
Teaser look of Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Spidey-Man. The
full teaser trailer is coming out tomorrow, but we're recording this episode on Wednesday night, so we're not going to get to...
Does it come out at 12 a.m.?
I wish.
12:01?
We're getting close. Maybe I'll keep an eye on things, see if it pops up while we're talking. But the things we saw in there, saw Happy Hogan.
Yep.
Jon Favreau returning as Happy Hogan. Love that character.
Mm-hmm.
He's always fun, and I'd love to see him.
So is he going to be in the movie, or is this just?
Yeah, no, okay. He's in the movie. They've announced he was in the movie, and him delivering the new
suit,
the new suit
with the web. Dude, I was just thinking that
the web wings.
I like the little web wings. I was like, oh, I wonder if I'll ever get to see those.
Really? Oh, you were thinking if you ever?
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Well, they're kind of they're kind of iffy. I'm kind of iffy on them in the comics, but what I like about this is that there's a purpose for them.
Yeah.
He's fighting the vulture in this movie. The vulture flies, so he's going to be able to glide using those like
a
swings
squirrel.
like a flying squirrel. Squirrel man. But yeah, like I like that there's a reason for it.
And that Tony Stark made it, so we don't have to worry about how
does this broke 15-year-old afford this stuff? Because a billionaire is backing him.
Well, that's how.
Yeah, and that's awesome. So saw a little bit of the action. Looks great. Like Spider-Man, like I'm more excited.
He did a backflip off of a
monument.
Something.
He's in Washington D.C. I think that's like a monument or something. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I think they go on a field trip or something with the school. So he winds up there, and I think that's where all that footage takes place.
Okay.
But yeah, looks good. I can't wait to see the trailer tomorrow. Too bad we're not. Yeah, but we'll talk about it next week. I'm sure we'll see it by then, and we'll probably see it again because next week we're going to be reviewing Star Wars Rogue One. Yeah, Star Trek.
Star Trek Rogue One.
Star Trek Rogue One. Yeah, so next week we're listen to that. Keep an eye out for that episode. We'll talk about that next week.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a rumor. Armie Hammer, who was in The Lone Ranger and The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and
he almost Batman.
Almost Batman, yes. He was the Winklevoss twins in Social Network. He's rumored for Hal Jordan right now for the DC movies. I like that casting.
Yeah, he'd be great. He's got a good voice for it.
He's got a good voice, and he's got a good look.
Yeah,
and he was like you said, he was almost Batman.
Yeah,
in George Miller's Justice League Mortal film. That you've heard about the film, right?
Yeah.
You listen to Smodcast and stuff. You heard the episode with Adam Brody.
Yeah, little bits and pieces.
It sounded cool. Like it sounded really interesting. It sounded really Flash-centric.
I wonder if they'll do anything like that for the one coming up.
Probably not.
No.
It's gonna be dark and depressing.
Everybody's gonna be
confusing.
Everybody's gonna be fighting each other for no reason.
I'm still probably gonna like it a little bit because I'm a
just
because
it's the characters.
Because it's the characters.
You think they're gonna fight a giant starfish?
If they fought Starro in that movie, I would shit, dude. That'd be amazing.
What if that's the last scene of the movie?
Like
they go off to like another adventure.
Yeah,
and then like
the end credits are like recreations of famous comic book panels. Right. No, they're not gonna do that. It'd be too fun. It's gonna be dark and depressing and shit, and everyone's gonna be. I love DC comics, DC movies. I'm not all the way over into hating them like most of America is, but I still love the characters and I like what they're doing with the characters. I just don't like what they're doing with the movies and stuff like that.
Right.
Anyway, let's talk about some stuff that works. Let's talk about some Marvel TV.
Marvel TV?
Yeah, they got a couple various Marvel TV news stories. First one is that Luke Cage has been renewed for a second season.
Oh, big surprise.
Yeah, shocker. Yeah, this is a note. Like, I thought it had already been renewed by this point anyway. Like,
I just
surprised it took this long. I assumed that the second it aired, everyone was like, yeah, this is more of this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do we know, like, what the, what do you call it? So next is Iron Fist, and then Defenders, and then
Punisher, I think, because Punisher and Defenders are shooting now.
Okay, so then I'm assuming after Punisher there'll be
probably Daredevil or Jessica Jones, because they've been talking about Jessica Jones season 2 since the first season ended. Like they picked it up then. So
why don't they just do it all at the same time?
I don't know.
It's Netflix.
Well, yeah, but like the thing is, the crews of these shows work on all the other shows and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I mean, so right now I think is the first time that we've had 2 shows in production at once.
So the crew from Daredevil worked on Jessica Jones.
They move on to Jessica Jones. A lot of them, yeah. Not all of them, but they're all set.
Every single one?
Every single person. Charlie Cox is the guy that's like running around getting people coffee and stuff when he's not Daredevil. Okay, yeah, so speaking, you mentioned Iron Fist. That's the next show that's coming out. IGN released a couple new images from Iron Fist. There's some shots of Danny Rand and
Mr.
Colleen Wing in her like dojo or whatever, because we saw at the end of. Did you finish Luke Cage?
Yes.
Okay, you remember at the end where Rosario Dawson's walking by the telephone pole and gets the number for like self-defense classes?
Yeah.
That's her being teed up to enter the world of Iron Fist.
Okay.
So Colleen Wing is going to be the person that like she's taking. That was the name on the flyer. So she's going to be taking self-defense classes from her, who's an ally of Iron Fist, and like there's some stuff in the comics with Colleen Wing and Misty Knight teaming up and stuff. So I love what they're doing with each individual season, but at this point in the game, I'm really looking forward to seeing them all come together.
Right.
And we
Avengers.
got one more introduction to a character before we get that mini Avengers, like you said.
Would they add Punisher to that? Defenders, or is that
probably not a main character throughout the whole season? But I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed for he shows up in an episode. Yeah, because there's only 8 episodes a season now, and they do have a lot, only 8 episodes a season for Defenders.
Oh, okay.
The other shows still have 13. Like Iron Fist is still gonna be 13 and everything. Okay, so speaking of Iron Fist again, the showrunner of Iron Fist, Scott Buck, is going to be the showrunner for Inhumans.
Okay.
When it comes to ABC next fall. So we know that. We know a little bit more. I'm still kind of wondering how they're going to be able to do it, because that's a big story. And I'm really excited to see if they can do it, because everything they've done on TV so far has been lower budgets.
Right.
Like, the Netflix shows, they're just a tiny budget on those shows.
Yeah.
But it works for them.
Yeah.
Inhumans is a different story. It's going to require a lot, more than even like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and any of the CW shows. Mm-hmm. It's going to require a lot to do Inhumans, but they got a showrunner that we'll see after we see Iron Fist. Maybe we'll have a better idea if this is the right guy. One last Marvel thing, they announced a new digital series.
What does that mean?
It's going to be online. It's digital.
What's the online?
It's the internets, interwebs.
Oh.
The HoloNet.
Are we in the internet now?
Yeah, we live there.
Oh, okay. When can I see my family again?
Never. Marvel, they're doing, a digital series called Slingshot, which is starring character Yo-Yo, who's an Inhuman that we meet in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's a cool character. She's like a speedster.
Uh-huh.
But she runs really fast, but she snaps back to her original starting point. So, like, she's good for, like, disarming people and stuff like that. Like, the team will be standing there.
Just keep going?
She can keep going, but eventually she gets snapped back. Like, she has to always come back to where she starts, hence the name Yo-Yo.
Or else what?
I don't know. I don't know. I think at a certain point she has to snap back. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
She's never broken past that. I don't know much about the character.
Can it only be like in a straight line?
No, she can run all around and do stuff, but she has to come back to her starting point.
But when she comes, like, let's say just for, like, she does like a figure 8.
Yeah.
Does she come back in the figure 8? Do you know am I explaining that?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like if she goes and does a crazy pattern and stuff, does she have to follow through that same pattern and stuff? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. She's been in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a little bit, but most of the time she runs forward and comes back, and you don't know, you see her run forward, come back, and then you see her have like the gun in her hand or something like that. She's a cool character though.
Okay. She have a bad attitude?
Yeah. She's cool. She didn't really speak English that well, and she was slowly learning it over the course of like the last season.
Uh-huh.
And we haven't seen her much this season, but this show is set before season 4 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to be seeing her like kind of getting used to her powers and stuff like that.
Does she have a distaste for authority?
Yeah. She's not really keen on S.H.I.E.L.D. showing up and telling her when.
Does she make wisecracks?
Yeah. All right. December 13th is when that starts. One last thing in the news before we move on. Couple of announcements that came out today that both just hit me at the same time. I was like, awesome. I can't wait. I don't know. You're not going to be excited for these. I already know it.
All right.
But the English dubbed version of Dragon Ball Super they've announced it's going to debut on January 7th on Toonami. Hey, you're the asshole in this equation. You're the one that doesn't like something that so many people love and grew up on, because, I mean, Dragon Ball, like, this is the first. Dragon Ball Super is the new show. It debuted like 2 years ago in Japan. They're finally doing the English dubbed version of it. For us, idiots that don't like to read the subtitles, on Toonami, and it's going to have all the original voice actors from the show.
Have you watched the undubbed version at all? Like,
I watched the first episode of it.
Are the voices weird to you?
It's really weird to me. Yeah,
not at all what you would expect.
No, because I grew up with the voice actors that did it in American, and like in American, in English and stuff, and that's how I hear the characters in my head and everything. So this is the first new Dragon Ball show in 18 years. The first new one. They've, like, you probably just don't realize how old this is. This was like something that started in the 80s with like Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z, and then there was Dragon Ball GT. So that
How many seasons is this?
There were like, I think there were about 5 seasons of Dragon Ball, which was like Goku as a kid and stuff until he reached, adulthood. Dragon Ball Z was him as an adult and his family and everything. I think that was 9 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then GT, I don't know, because I just have the complete...
separate from that 5 seasons?
Separate from that 5 seasons, yeah. And then there was a show called Dragon Ball GT, which took place after that, which is... It wasn't based on the comics, like the original manga, so it's not really canon anymore. And Dragon Ball Super is, like, replacing that timeline. Dragon Ball Super is now, picks up where the show left off, Dragon Ball Z. So that's really cool. So they're finally doing that. Like, it's been 2 years, so thank God they're finally getting around to dubbing it. And January 7th's not far away, so I'm excited for that. The other thing is
that's my wife's birthday.
January 7th?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what you're doing on your wife's birthday. We're gonna watch the Dragon Ball Super.
What are we watching?
She's like, what does that mean? And the other,
I don't know, sweetie. I don't know.
Jeff told me I had to do it. Attack on Titan Season 2 finally coming. That's another anime that we've been waiting years for the second season. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's been on Netflix. I've watched it like 3 times just because I can't wait till the new season. It's been like 3 years since the last one. Finally coming in April of 2017. They've officially confirmed that today as well. So 2 news stories that I'm over the moon about. I can't wait for either of these shows. All right, so let's move on to our reviews.
The translation of the so the Dragon Ball Super. What if the translation wasn't Super, but it was called Dragon Ball Fart Quest?
Dragon Ball. I'd watch that.
Like it just happened to be that's the translation.
Yeah, I'd watch Dragon Ball Fart Quest.
Good to know.
I'm automatically in for that. All right, so let's jump to some reviews
on Blu-ray.
You don't know about this because I didn't prep you a hand, but we're both about to do a movie review right now.
Are we?
I'm going to do a movie review for Moana, which I just saw last week.
Okay.
And we're both going to do animated movies. You just saw Trolls, didn't you?
I did.
So you're going to, with no preparation, review Trolls right now.
I thought it was good. It was very entertaining. Lots of songs. Lots of songs. Yeah. Because like part of their thing is they like to sing and dance.
Okay.
So they're always like,
Was there enough story to go on? Because it's one of those things where they're just making a movie based on like toys. It's like a pet rock movie.
Yeah, I thought they came up with like a pretty good story. Like it's not Pixar level.
Yeah.
But it's like it's entertaining. It's good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Who were the voices in it?
I can't remember all of them. Anna Kendrick was the main.
She's great.
The main girl troll and the main boy troll was Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
I can't remember the other ones.
Any fun like cast member like voices that you picked up on and heard and go, oh, that guy?
There are, but like I can't.
You can't remember them off the top.
Yeah.
You weren't prepared to do. I kind of sprung this on you because I was gonna do my review.
Visually it was really good.
Yeah.
Very visually satisfying. It gets really dark in some points.
Really?
Like I was like, whoa.
Trolls.
Like just some of the like when you see it, there's just some scenes that like me and my wife were just like, whoa. Like easy guys.
Why'd you go see that one? What made you guys want to see that one?
She's always like Trolls.
Trolls, yeah.
And animated movie.
Yeah.
We gotta go see it.
Yeah, I mean like before the Lego movie, like they actually like there's a million movies that are like really they're making a battleship movie or just trying to cash in on something that's been around for a while.
Battleship probably not the best idea.
No, but Lego movie, who would have thought that would have been a great idea?
I didn't.
And it turned
I was
out
like,
to be
what are you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Turns out a lot.
Yeah, you can do a lot with Lego movie, and we've only got a couple months till the Lego Batman movie, which I'm even more excited. I didn't see Lego movie right away. I saw it, heard it was great, but I saw it later on DVD. But I'm going to the theater to see Lego Batman because that looks great.
Let's see. Let me put it this way: there are some movies I've seen that I'm like, if I got this on like a DVD or Blu-ray as a gift, probably never watch it. Yeah. Trolls, if we got it as a present, I'd watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What rating would you give it out of 10?
Maybe 7.5.
Okay.
Cool. Good.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me do mine real quick. Moana. It's the latest Disney movie.
Okay.
Uh,
Just Disney? It's not Pixar? It's a...
No, it's like
Okay.
a Disney, like Zootopia is like a Disney, Walt Disney Studios film. I really like this movie.
Yeah.
This year has been a pretty good year for animation, like with, you said Trolls, Wreck-It, not Wreck-It, Moana, Secret Life of Pets was okay. I saw that one.
I haven't seen that.
Not my favorite of the ones that came out this year. It's all right.
Okay.
It's not what you think it is when you see the trailers and you see the pets. Like, it's kind of like that, but then it's basically, someone pointed out, it's basically Toy Story. Because the people leave and the pets just do what they want, and then
they go on an adventure.
And then one of them goes away, and then the there's like a new brother kind of thing. So it's like Buzz Lightyear, and they go off on an adventure that ends with like a truck chase, and it's exactly Toy Story, but
it ain't broke
with Kevin Hart. But it wasn't bad or anything. It's just definitely not gonna top my list. Finding Dory was a lot better, and I think Moana's up there. Could be my favorite of the year. Okay. I loved Zootopia. And,
that one was really good.
I loved that one, and Moana edged that one out barely, but it did. And the only other movie this year that I haven't seen yet that I will is Kubo and the Two Strings, which is not Disney at all.
I've seen a preview for that.
Yeah, I hear it's really, really good. Like, I hear it's between that and Moana is like the best Disney movies of the year, but I haven't seen that. I did see Moana, and so the main actress in Moana, she was 14 when they made the film. She's 16 now. Her name is, I can't pronounce it. It's Alil Carvalho.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm sure I nailed it. I'm confident I nailed it. But she is amazing in this movie. Yeah, 14 when they made this movie. And like she has a phenomenal singing voice. Like her voice, like I was like, she's 14. Her voice, she sounded like a Broadway performer. Like she's been doing it for years and stuff. She's got a powerful voice, man.
Really?
Yeah, and it was an empowering character. Like Moana, like not even just for girls either. I think it, like even boys watch this and go like, she's like, she's the daughter of the chief.
Okay.
And
is the Rock the chief?
No, the Rock. I'll get to the Rock in a second, but she's the chief's daughter, and she's next in line to be the chief and lead their people. But they used to be, sea voyaging tribe, and now they stay away from the sea and everything, and all their boats are hidden away and stuff like that. And her father's like, she feels the ocean calling to her and everything. But her
like
father
Aquaman.
tries to keep her away from it, like Aquaman. This movie's Aquaman,
awesome,
which is why it was awesome. No, so she's just a great character who's just like, she knows in her gut where she wants to be and what she wants to do, and like as much as everyone tries to stop her, her grandmother's the one person that still like gives her the the motivation and the
Gam.
Gam. Her grandmother was a great character, and they're all like got the Samoan like tattoos and stuff all over him. Her grandmother has a giant like back piece of like a manta and everything. Yeah, and so she, the adventure she goes on is there's this demigod named Maui, voiced by The Rock, who doesn't come into the movie right away. Like he comes in about 30 minutes or so into the movie, and that gives it plenty of time to establish Moana, and you really like the character. And then when he comes in, it's like, oh great, now The Rock's here. It's awesome, and he's like. Maui is kind of, it reminded me of the genie in a lot of ways, like that kind of big, larger than life personality, and like he's so full of himself. Like he sings this song like when she first finds him, because what he did was he stole this like gem, this magical gem thing, and this crazy lava monster came up and tried to fight him, and he lost it in the sea. The gem washed up on Moana's island and everything. And so she's got it now, and it gives her like these crazy water powers. Have you seen the trailers and stuff?
Yeah, I've seen the trailers.
She's got the cool water powers. I didn't watch the trailers until like a week or so before I went to see the movie. I was going to see it anyway, but so she has these crazy cool water powers and stuff, kind of like Aqualad in Young Justice.
Yeah.
And so the orb gives her that, but the goal is she has to go find Maui and make him take it back. Because it's creating like a darkness over the world and everything.
Gotcha.
he's got to fix that what he caused. But he's larger than life. He's like the genie.
His flashpoint.
That's his flashpoint. He's got this, he has to go get this crazy hook weapon thing that he had and everything. He's got this whole song when she first meets him. He thinks she's just there to thank him for all the great things he's done.
Yeah.
So he's got a great song called "You're Welcome" that he sings about. It's like I lassoed the sun from the sky to make the days longer so you can have more fun and stuff like that. It's fun. He has a pretty decent singing voice, nowhere near the level of the main actors.
Right.
But it's kind of more like talking.
Right.
Whatever. But it's good. It works and everything. And then about halfway through the movie, I was liking it a lot. And this is where it tipped over for me to I love this movie now.
Okay.
They go into this thing called the realm of monsters, which is kind of have you ever seen this is so dumb, but have you ever seen the old Godzilla cartoons and stuff?
Not the cartoons.
Where there was basically the thing was that Godzilla, under the ocean, there was a place where there was not water, the water stops at a certain point, and there's an underwater,
caves?
Not caves where it's not underwater.
Caves I can buy.
Caves with air bubble pockets and stuff like that. It was kind of a thing like that. So
they're not just completely out of their mind.
Yeah. It was kind of like that and everything, where they went to some magical realm on the other side of the bottom of the ocean, and did look like a Godzilla go by for a second. I was like, that's Godzilla. But they find this giant crab creature named Tamatoa, I think. His voice, as soon as he starts talking, I was like, oh yes. It was Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah.
And he's got a whole big song and everything, and it's just another Flight of the Conchords song. It was just, as soon as I got to there, I was like, oh, I love this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked it. The soundtrack, the thing to me is what makes a really great classic, instant classic Disney song. So you hear it and it's you feel like you've been hearing that song your entire life.
Yeah,
almost.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
That was the case for me with the song that she sings, Moana. It's called How Far I'll Go. That's the song.
It's
That's
called
the one for me.
You Got a Friend in Me. And
it feels like you've been hearing it your whole life. No, but that song, I've been listening to it. I've been going back and listening to a Disney song because it's been caught in my head for a week since I've seen the movie. Okay, so if I would have rated the movie right after I saw it, I probably would have given it an 8 or an 8.5 and stuff. But, after sitting on it for a little while and re-listening to the songs and stuff, I think I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because I really like the movie, and the songs just, like I said, they have that instant classic factor to a couple of them.
You know what I just saw that has The Rock in it?
What?
Central Intelligence.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah,
you saw that one?
Think? Yeah.
I thought that one was one of the ones where I was like, I watched it once, I'm good, but I liked it.
It was funnier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It was a little funnier than I thought the movie that I watched recently that was a lot funnier than I thought it would be is Keanu.
Yeah.
And I love Key and Peele. I love the show and everything. I like those guys, but I heard what I heard about the movie, it was just kind of okay.
Yeah.
And I guess that lowered my expectations. So when I saw it, I was like, no, I really like that movie.
It was really good.
Yeah, the two of them playing the other
I didn't catch that right at first.
You didn't realize it? That it was the two of them, and
I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, that was a fun movie. Yeah.
Kitty. I really, really, really like that Keanu Reeves did the voice of Keanu.
Yeah, that was spoiler alert, but that was awesome.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I liked the idea, thinking of them calling him, because at some point someone from they had to call him and be like, all right, we're doing this movie.
Yeah.
Basically, it's you, so can you do the voice of the cat? I just can't imagine him being anything other than yeah.
He's like, I know Kung Fu, right?
Do you want me to say that? I'll totally do it. I'm down.
All right.
It's cool, brah.
Okay, so that's it for. We got a couple little extra quick movie reviews in there at the end. So let's jump into the last chunk of the show, which is going to be our season mid-season finale reviews for a couple of shows. First up, Supergirl last week was the mid-season finale, part of the Invasions. We already talked about that. That when that comes back in January, it's going to be with Kevin Smith's episode called Supergirl Lives. Which is cool because that's the name is an homage to the Superman Lives script that he wrote in the 90s.
Wild Wild West.
Yeah. And also, Mr. Mxyzptlk is coming to Supergirl for 2 episodes this season.
That's not his episode.
Not
right?
in his episode,
okay.
but he's coming later in the season.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm excited for that. That's gonna be fun.
I mean, that should be, you know what? If you really want to brighten up the Zack Snyder universe,
yeah, that's the villain in Man of Steel 2.
Awesome. Count me in. Like the whole like
who would you cast as Mr. Mxyzptlk?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
In the like cartoons and stuff, they had Gilbert Godfrey voicing him, which is perfect. That's perfect.
Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Hey, Superman.
Hey, Superman. I like that. And then in Batman Brave and the Bold, which is a similar character, Batmite was Paul Rubens as Batmite. That was good too.
I have an idea for a game that we should play when we have a guest.
Okay.
The idea of the game is basically I'll tell you a movie, right?
Yeah.
That Tom Hanks is not in.
Okay. So any movie.
Well,
that
hang
Tom
on.
Hanks is not in.
I'll tell you some movies, and you have to either guess if Tom Hanks was like considered for it or not. And the game is called Hanks, but no Hanks. Right?
I like that. I knew that's why I knew, like, you coming up with this game, I was like, there's gotta be a catchy title. Perfect. Well,
I had another idea for one earlier, but it was for like a Halloween themed.
Yeah.
Called Truth or Scare.
Yeah, okay. What would be the premise of that game?
I tell you like 2 spooky stories, and one of them's true and the other one's not.
Okay.
Truth or Scare.
All right.
You like Hanks but no Hanks?
I love Hanks but no Hanks.
Like I feel like I'm really close to like a movie that like he was almost in.
Yeah.
But like you got to guess, was he like
kind of like the like, you know, those classic, like, oh, this guy was almost that character, like Bill Murray was considered for Batman and stuff like that.
Hanks but no Hanks.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, I love it. All right. Back to this.
we need to start having guests because those games sound like fun. All right, so let's move on to The Flash. The episode was called The Present, which
hated it. No, I'm just kidding. I loved it. It's my favorite show.
I do like the living color reference there. All right, it's called The Present, which it had a double meaning.
Yeah,
which we'll get to. First things first. Julian, he has we see a little bit of his origin.
I started to kind of guess that he was
alchemy.
Yeah,
I keep wanting to say Prometheus, but that's Arrow.
Zoom Arrow. Yeah, I kind of started to guess that maybe he was alchemy like a while ago.
Yeah, well, there was no one else. Like,
well,
you can either do what they. Spoiler alert for this and Arrow, which we'll be talking about. If you haven't seen the episodes yet, just be wary of that. But yeah, Julian was he was the only person it could be.
Right.
You know, the only person we hadn't met yet. He mysteriously shows up once Flashpoint happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but the thing that they did with it is, I kind of liked how they did it because there's all these clues early on that it seems like they're trying to throw you off. Like, either he's lying, or as it turns out to be the case, he doesn't know that he's alchemy.
Yep.
Which I liked. I like that because at least makes it different where it's not like
he's like trying to trick everyone and
it made it, and it made his character more likable to me too.
It did.
Yeah. We see his origin.
Digging
up in the
he was
caves
trying to kind of trying to mind his own business.
Well,
kind of.
He was also trying to be Indiana Jones as well.
Well,
he was straight up trying to be Indiana Jones.
Who am I to judge someone who wants to kind of be Indiana Jones?
Right? Then he opens the thing. What I wanted when I saw that scene, I was like, it said 4 years ago, and I was like, please let there be like a Hawkman cameo in the scene.
Oh yeah,
because Hawkman, was it Carter Hall?
Yeah.
He's an archaeologist and everything, and that's how we met him in Smallville and everything. I was like, I thought it'd be cool to have just a cameo from the guy that plays Hawkman.
Yeah,
because they've got a guy that plays Hawkman in this universe, so I thought that would have been cool. We got our first visit to Earth 3. Mm-hmm. Saw Earth 3, the blimps in the air and everything.
I just like that it's kind of old timey.
Yeah, it's kind of old timey. Yeah, kind of almost like Like that's what I like. We've seen Earth 1, 2, and 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Earth 2, which is a little bit kind of like retro, but also futuristic, like in that weird kind of way. Yeah. And then this one's like a little old timey as well. And it fits for both universes and everything. We got to see the return of a character, or the return of an actor playing the Earth 3 version of a character.
And those two just kind of
the Mark Hamill,
kind of quote unquote putting the old suit back on.
Yeah.
That
was fun. Yeah, like he was a very different version. He had the crazy teeth and everything with the sunken in eyes and everything. But it was cool to see Mark Hamill return to the show. Been a big fan of that, and seeing the two of them as Trickster and the Flash again.
Yeah.
It was a different version. It's the third time he's played the Trickster. It's the second version of the Flash that this guy's played. This like second version of the character in this show that he's played. Like, there's so many, like, with the different universes. It's really cool that it creates all these opportunities for the actors who are coming back every week and every year, every season, to play different characters, different versions of the characters.
So, do you think in the future, this is in reality, not in the show, in the future, let's say 20 years from now,
okay,
they reboot the Flash.
They do another Flash show.
Does Grant Gustin come back to play Jay Garrick?
I hope so.
Awesome.
Just keep that going for the rest of time.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah. So Barry went to Earth 3 to recruit Jay Garrick because he's having this whole Savitar problem. And we got to see both of the Flashes go up against Savitar. I always love seeing those two together because Barry's always been like searching for a father figure.
Right.
Like that's so much a part of his character. Like, his dad, when his mom was murdered, his dad went to jail for it. So he looked up to Joe as like his father figure. And then, when this whole crazy, superpowers and metahumans thing started coming up, Harrison Wells was the other father figure and everything. And now he's got someone that he can really relate to as a Flash. Like,
who literally is kind of his dad.
Who looks exactly like his dad.
Yeah.
He's the Earth 3 doppelganger of his dad. Yeah. Like, it's so appropriate that Jay Garrick looks identical to his dad because that's the kind of relationship I want them to have as those characters. And
I like that he can somewhat easily just kind of pop in if he...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was just easy. Just like that when he goes over there when he needs to talk to Jay. And I loved, that Jay knew who Savitar was.
Right.
He he gave us a little more information, and then we had, Julian giving us some information on the Philosopher's Stone, which I thought was kind of funny that they've got a Harry Potter actor to play the guy that takes the Philosopher's Stone and everything. So we saw the Flashes, all the Flashes really, because even all three. Even Wally tried to help out.
Guys, Wally's hurt bad.
Yeah, it was another one of those. But we saw.
I really like Harrison Wells and Wally just practicing out by the lake.
Yeah, run, Wallace, run.
Awesome.
It's classic. Yeah,
those two to get just the idea that each one of them is looking at the other one going, "This guy knows what's up. This guy knows."
And I like how they were caught immediately, too.
Oh, yeah. Not even I was expecting, are they going to couple episodes, couple months go by? No. Later that day.
They get caught. Idiots. But, the thing is, they're doing what I want them to do. They're just doing it in a dumb way. I want him to become Kid Flash, and that's why this was a fun episode.
Uh-huh.
They find a way to stop Savitar and everything. They use that Julian Dorn kind of becomes an ally in helping them try to stop it. First, they got to convince him that he is alchemy. He's like, no, you're trying to frame me.
Yeah.
And he's like, he has to take, of course, anytime someone says, that's great coming from you hiding behind a mask. You always like, Barry's about to take his damn mask off again.
He's learning how to keep that mask
on,
bro.
He shows everyone his face.
God, why can't I think of the name of it? Why can't it Star Labs?
Yeah.
It's only going to fit so many people.
Well, the thing I'm excited about is if we see Wally go out with Barry as Kid Flash.
Right.
And when Cisco starts suiting up his vibe and going out there, they might need another person there. So having Julian there
That's true.
Because Iris can't really help out with the science stuff, so it's just Caitlin.
Yeah.
And then
she's gonna,
and HR can't help, he can't help anyone.
He cannot.
He doesn't know shit.
God, I love that guy.
He's so fun though.
Yeah.
Like
okay. Right after they did the little thing where they put the device on Julian's head.
Yeah.
And he was talking as Avatar.
Yeah.
I really loved Harrison Wells just being like, all right, I need a mint tea, I need a cappuccino,
I need a nap. It's just, that was so scary.
I just need a mint tea and a coffee. Oh, God.
He's great. Yeah, so like that's what I think. The team has got to keep constantly evolving, or it's going to grow stale.
Yeah.
So Cisco going out into the field. Maybe Caitlin. You know, I hope Caitlin sticks around because I like the character, and there's nothing that says she has to be Killer Frost for me.
Mm-hmm.
Killer Frost. Like I never realized this, but the Caitlin Snow version of Killer Frost only came out around like 2012 when they did the New 52.
Mm-hmm.
That version of the character didn't really exist before that. So really, there's not a whole lot of story to mine from the comics.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it a little bit more
interesting
if they would turn her into a villain.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, but I think we've gotten enough of that for me that if she hangs around for a little while longer as Caitlin, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
Because you know they've covered all the main things from the comics. She's evil, but not sometimes, and in the comics it was like that. She had a relationship in the comics with Firestorm. That was the comic she was introduced in. So they've done that. Like they're doing
Fire and Ice.
I think
those two don't get along.
That's the point. But yeah, we've seen it covered from various angles and stuff. Yeah, you're right. Eventually, I would like to see her go full Killer Frost, and if she does go full Killer Frost, and Vibe is out as Vibe now,
never go full Killer Frost.
Yeah, then Julian might. What if Julian becomes a permanent member of the Team Flash? That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I like that actor. I just got done watching all 8 Harry Potter movies. Yeah, it was a task, but it was the first time I had seen the last one though. I had never watched the last one. And everyone's like, really? You haven't seen the last one? The 8th? You didn't see the final Harry Potter movie? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, do you not like it? I'm like, no, I love Harry Potter. Haven't seen it. And watching it, it was like the reason I haven't watched it is like, it's done now.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No more. Like, it's a bummer to watch that last episode or that last movie of a series and stuff. But now I watched it because I'm going tomorrow night to watch Fantastic Beasts.
Nerd.
So, yep. So there's more Wizarding World for me to see now, which I didn't know that at the time when the 8th movie came out. But I love that actor. I think he's great. He plays a great villain.
Yeah.
But every now and then you'll see hints of like, oh, he's actually not as bad as you think, and he's really good at doing that. Seems like an asshole, and then like tipping the hat just a little bit.
Yeah.
On the other hand, in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, was it Dawn or Rise of the Planet of the Apes? He was a straight dick in that movie.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he worked at the ape center, and he was just an asshole.
Did he smack the monkeys?
He like shocked them with stuff, and
that's not very nice.
Yeah, he was a dick.
Did they beat the hell out of him?
That's why I like seeing him in the Flash, because like you see, like, oh, maybe he's not so bad.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want that guy to always be a bad guy. That's why I'd like him hanging around Flash for a little while. At the end of let's get to the end of the episode of the Flash real quick.
Oh, I like. Hang on, one quick bit. When Jay Garrick's laid up in the little what do you call it? Little medical center that they got there. He's like laying back, and then Barry says something to him. He starts to kind of get up, like, all right, well, I'll help. Barry only kind of stops. And he's like, you're right. I should probably sit down.
I didn't pick up on that.
It's like really subtle, and like I don't know if maybe I'm just reading more into it because I want it to be. But he kind of does like this little. All right, I should get up and help. And he's like, no, you should rest. He's like, you're right. I should probably sit down.
I like that.
He's like, I'm good. You're right. You got this.
Okay, so I did want to say when they were separating and like Flash was fighting Alchemy and going back to the beginning, the scene of Jay Garrick fighting Zoom, I just love. You
mean Savitar?
Yeah, Savitar. I keep wanting to say Zoom.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No, it was hard to watch. I didn't want him.
Well, no. Yeah, I liked watching it because I just liked seeing Jay Garrick in action and just seeing them like throwing around, and like when he threw Jay Garrick against the wall, I was like, "That's Jay Garrick on TV. That's awesome."
I was like, I was worried.
Yeah, I wasn't. I knew he wasn't gonna kill him.
Well, I mean,
you got to keep Jay Garrick around for a bit.
They're always like grabbing
always killing people.
They're always like grabbing either Barry by the neck or Jay Garrick by the neck and running in super speed. That's not cool.
That's awesome. I love those, like when Zoom did that last season when he just grabs him by the neck and is like throwing, just holding him up in front of everybody. Like, this is your shit. This is your shit. This is your shit.
Barry's just like, I don't want to go home.
I don't feel good.
I don't want to be super speed anymore. I don't know why, but I did like the image of Barry and Wally both just getting slapped around together. I was like, well, at least he's got a buddy.
Yeah. So yeah, the last thing, Barry, they try to throw the box with the Philosopher's Stone. They try to just throw it into the time stream,
Didn't
which
work.
just sounds
kind of
like,
worked.
Well, they don't know,
right.
but there's a hint that it may not work because Barry, I just thought that was just such a funny way of getting rid of it. Just like we'll just throw it into the Speed Force.
I like how
get rid of it.
Like Jay Garrick kind of gives that idea, and then Joe West is like, so that'll work? And Jay is like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not how I get rid of shit.
Oh, I got all kinds of shit in the Speed Force.
I would have just locked it up in the pipeline. Just put the box in one of the cells and just treat it like any other person that's down there.
That's a really good idea.
But then again, you don't know if being down there would have called to them like it did with Cisco and Julian.
But what if that's how Jay Garrick gets rid of a lot of his trash? Like he empties his trash into the Speed Force just because he doesn't want to pollute.
Something out.
What?
I don't know. It's bullshit, but I'll talk about it in a minute.
I want to know now. I'm really interested.
What's about Arrow?
Arrow's in the Speed Force.
We'll talk about it in a minute. Okay, so when they do that, Barry comes back and he's in the future.
Okay.
This is the first time we've gone to the future.
I didn't think about that until it. Yeah.
Yeah, he saw the future and he sees Savitar impale Iris with his RoboCop spike. And that was pretty. That sucks.
Who do you think Savitar is?
No, I think this
is it. Someone? Is it gonna be someone, or is it?
No,
just,
I think we might see an actor play what he looks like under all that, but I don't think Savitar is the kind of character that, like a Prometheus, like an Alchemy, or a Zoom, or a Reverse Flash, where they reveal who it is under the mask or whatever.
I don't know. He was all pissy with Barry for some reason.
Well, I literally think. I mean, he's not. They call him the Speedster God, the God of speed and everything. I think people, because he's so powerful, they call him God. Right. I don't think it's necessarily one of those kind of things where he is literally the God. I think he's just that kind of ancient for the first speedster kind of thing. So I don't think there should, and I don't think they should be that kind of reveal with this character.
Yeah, that one you kind of.
Yeah, because with we got that already with Alchemy. We got that version of that kind of character, and we've got that every season so far of the Flash. And with, that's also what they're doing on Arrow this season with Prometheus, like, who's under the hood and everything.
What if there was a situation where Zoom is back and then just for the greater good type, Zoom, Barry, and Reverse Flash have to team up and fight Savitar or something?
Well, it would be the Black Flash now.
Yeah.
Because Zoom became the basically death for speedsters. Ooh, I don't like that because we might see the death of another speedster instead.
Who?
I don't know. There's so many now. Who's that one girl that I didn't like?
You didn't like Jessie Quick?
No, not her. I love Jessie Quick. The other one.
That was a good costume.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Wally's got a good costume.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to.
Jay Garrick has a good costume.
Yeah, we got to at the end of the episode, we get the double meaning of the title, the present, because the whole episode Jay's saying live in the present and everything.
Run, Wallace,
because when he sees and then we see him open the box. We don't even see the costume. We just see him open the box and know what's in there.
Yeah.
And stuff. And that was best Christmas present ever.
Yep.
Because it was not only a present to him, it was a present of all of us, and was to see him finally be Kid Flash.
Yeah.
So we have that to look forward to when
Harrison
the season
Wells
comes
was
back.
drunk.
He was very drunk. He's like, hey, I saw you kiss her. Good job. He's in the kitchen with his super hot girlfriend. Remember a couple episodes ago when they went to see Shining in the park?
Yeah.
Where he was hitting on her the whole time. Joe was all pissed off. This was a happy end. I mean, it was kind of a melancholy kind of ending.
Mm-hmm.
Because of what Barry knows about the future, what could be a possible future.
Mm-hmm.
but it was still a happy ending, like, which is surprising for me for a mid-season finale.
That's how they get you.
Yeah. I was the whole time I was like, when is it happening? When is something bad? Doorbell rings. Oh shit, it's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be Savitar.
Like, no, it was
gonna be Savitar with like a fake nose and glasses.
With a Santa Claus hat.
Yeah.
And beard. I've got a present for you. Reaches down to the bag, pulls out that RoboCop spike and stabs Iris. Yeah, so the door, like I said, doorbell rang, but it was Julian. Like, he had pissed off earlier. He was like, no, I don't know. I like spending Christmas alone.
Yeah.
And he came back, and I was like, yeah. And it looks like him and Caitlin might have a thing starting up there. And then it was like, uh-oh, now what's going to happen when Caitlin takes off? Like, when she just started walking away from everyone and took off her thing, I was like, oh, shit, what is she going to do now? She made it a white Christmas. And I was like, every time I thought it was going to get horrible, like something horrible was about to happen, it was a happy ending. And it was
all right.
I didn't know how to feel about that. And then we see Barry's present to Iris. He
did we not get to see Jay Garrick actually leave?
No,
Barry just kind of says it.
It was just kind of
I wonder if that was something that was kind of like a deleted scene type. Because does that feel to you like he would just give him, like, we'd actually see him give him like a, all right, see you next time type?
Yeah. I thought maybe it was either that or they didn't have time for it in the episode, or
something like it. Just seems like the actor
couldn't do it or something. Yeah. All right, so that was it for the Flash.
So do they have an apartment or is that a house?
It looked like an apartment.
Okay.
Yeah, like a nice apartment.
The things you care about when you're a little bit older, you're like, that looks like a house, right? Or is that an apartment?
Well, like a nice apartment. It's no like crazy ass giant apartment that they have on Arrow that Oliver just gave to Felicity for some reason.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty nice little apartment for the two of them. Which they're gonna spend a couple months in before she gets just.
Oh, and Barry's got his job back too. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, I like that. He's like, you can kind of have your job back if you want, or we can share it, or if you want me to piss off, I'll piss off. Or, it was I like that character a lot now. Yeah. I was so excited when they cast him in the show. Mm-hmm. Knew he was going to be a bad guy, but I liked the way they kind of surprised us a little bit with him.
Yeah.
All right, so while we're on the Flash, one thing I want to say, there's some set pics taken from the Flash for later on this season.
Mm-hmm. Is he running?
Yeah, he is. No, but this is who was spotted on the set. Flash, Kid Flash in costume.
Okay.
Jesse Quick in costume, and Vibe in costume.
Nice.
All together.
He's got like a costume?
Yeah, he's got like that leather jacket he wore in that flashback thing we saw. Versus, and what I hear, I didn't see the pictures for all this, and I don't know how people know because they're CG characters, but they also said they saw Savitar with a new female villain. So there'll be a new villain, and Grodd. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, Barry's gonna need some help.
Yeah, he's kind of building like a speedster army. Like he's got Jay Garrick, and now he's got Kid Flash and Jesse Quick and stuff. He's like, seems like he's building a team to take down these guys, and like it looks like Savitar is like not. He doesn't have alchemy anymore, so he's going to get Grodd.
Jay Garrick would show up, so it'd be.
I hope he wasn't spotted in these set pics. I don't think. But that's pretty cool. Also spotted was the Accelerated Man, who is the Flash from Earth 19, which is the same Earth as HR.
Nice.
Which in the comics is the Earth of an Elseworld story called Gotham by Gaslight. Where like all the heroes first appeared during like the Industrial Revolution and everything. So it's almost kind of like a steampunky version of the DC universe. Which kind of really explains HR. Like, it kind of fits with his style and everything.
Kind of weird.
Hipster kind of guy. So it looks like he might say, hey, there's a speedster on my Earth, too, that he didn't think of.
He got really scared and says, I need a mint tea and then also a coffee.
And a nap. So
he said nap?
He said nap, too. He said I need a mint tea, a coffee, and a nap.
I love that guy.
Like, he needs a coffee and then a nap.
I love that
That's
guy.
right. Didn't he say coffee was extinct on his world?
Yeah.
Like, extinct. I don't know if that's the right word.
That's fine.
There's no coffee on his world, so he loves it now. All right. So I'm curious as how to see where this season goes. Like, and this seems like to be a really good season to build up the speedster ranks, because there's a whole family, like a Flash family of speedsters in the comics and everything that are really cool. So many cool characters, and we've seen most of them, but we still got a couple that they haven't done yet. like Bart Allen, like Impulse,
I didn't even think of that.
like from the future
Yeah.
and stuff. Like I'm curious to see that somewhere down the line. But we're getting
It's Tom Welling.
I'm happy with what we got for now. You know, maybe season 4 or 5 we might see Bart Allen come in.
Yeah.
Somewhere. All right, let's move on to Arrow. The episode is called What We Leave Behind. What were your thoughts on this episode?
It was good.
Yeah. Yeah, like
I like parts of it.
Yeah, well, there's things I like I think my favorite running thing of the episode is Wild Dog and Ragman talking about Flashpoint.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's like, you thinking Flashpoint has maybe dated Thea in high school?
No,
like
I
that.
don't.
Like, what do you say? He's like, can we just get Barry to create another Flashpoint? Like, that was the best, like, dumb, like, hey, maybe we should do that. Like,
yeah.
That was a great suggestion.
Speedy was back for a little bit.
Speedy was back for a little bit. I like seeing more of her in the suit because it's a bummer not seeing her, you know, as Speedy
I like
anymore.
seeing those two together, just kind of on the roof talking.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see a little more. The team has been pretty big lately, so there was not enough room for it. But you know, Artemis is gone because she betrayed them all, and she's been working for Prometheus this whole time. Which, good, get rid of her. I never liked her that much. I was like, okay, she's Artemis, that's her code name,
right?
Which in Young Justice was the Green Arrow sidekick character that they introduced specifically to that show. It wasn't a character from the comics necessarily. But she wasn't that version of Artemis, so she never really clicked with me. The other ones, I like Ragman and Wild Dog and Curtis.
I wouldn't think that I would.
What?
I didn't think that I would.
You would like them?
Yeah, because I generally just don't like characters that I don't already know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but they kind of grow on you.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I don't really know much about those characters other than, like, I did my research on Mr. Terrific when Curtis Holt joined the show last year. So I knew more about him and knew what he was building towards, and I was excited for that.
Yeah.
And, and Wild Dog and Ragman, I don't know much about them, don't know what to expect, but they're really cool. Like, and so Artemis, she's not part of the team anymore. Good, get rid of her.
Yeah.
And so maybe there's a little more room for Speedy to come help out every now and then.
Kid Ragman.
Kid Ragman? All right. So she betrayed them. What a bitch. We finally get the reveal of who Prometheus is. Well, we don't know for sure because he's never unmasked. Well, they kind of said who the theory right now of who he is. I figured this would be because this is usually, I think, the episode where they kind of reveal who the main villain of the season is, the mid-season finale that kind of leave you on a cliffhanger so you come back next season. But this was like the opposite of the alchemy thing. The alchemy thing was, it's got to be someone and the reveal has to be exciting and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was someone that we already figured was going to be alchemy.
Yeah.
And they had tried to throw us off the clues with, like, him hating metahumans and then Prometheus working with him. There's all these things that made it sound like it wasn't going to be him. And then that's why when it turned out to be him, it was like, kind of, really? And then it turns out, oh, he doesn't know that he's...
Yeah.
This was a different thing where it's like, oh, it's just somebody we don't know.
Yeah,
and,
that can be good sometimes.
That's okay because there's nobody that we knew that it could have been.
Yeah.
Like, and I thought, like, when they did the whole thing with...
it was Daigle.
Well, they did the thing a couple episodes, tried to mislead you and think it was Quentin. It was Detective Captain Lance or whatever. I was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, that's dumb. And then I was like, okay, good, it's not him. Because I like the next episode after that, he was like, of course it's not me, but like he knew it wasn't me.
He's like, come on.
Someone's trying to make me think it is.
Someone's trying to make me think that it is.
Do you think there's something going on between him and Thea? Like they might start developing like a romantic relationship?
Nah.
We're spending a lot of time together lately.
Well, she put him in charge of like the police department and then he's boozing it up. So she's going to need a meeting with him.
I don't know. I can kind of see that happening, though, the way that those characters' stories have been written lately. But I don't know if I want it to. We kind of...
No, I don't want to do that.
He's old enough to be your grandfather, right? Jeez. She's so young.
I'm drunk.
You got me a hot young girl. I'm full of booze. Let's do this.
Hey, Detective Lance, you're making everyone uncomfortable. Can you... What
do you mean?
What do you mean?
You know what I've been through? You know how many daughters I lost?
Yeah, no, we know.
Yeah, this one's not my daughter. I'm hanging on to this one.
Okay.
Creepy. God. All right, so Prometheus kidnaps Felicity's new boyfriend, Billy Malone.
Yeah.
Who was the only person that we don't like Julian Dorn in Flash, was the only person we don't know in this show, this season. I mean, we've met the other characters, Artemis, we met her last season, and then Wild Dog and Ragman,
Yeah,
we
for
met
a second,
them.
I thought it was him.
You thought it was Billy?
Yeah.
Me too. And like, I was like, they're not really.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, and then we also know it hasn't been revealed in the show yet. Some people might think that Prometheus is the DA.
Yeah.
But
no, he's vigilante.
No, he is. Yeah.
He's
Spoiler alert: he's
too
vigilante.
angry.
That's who the character is in the comics. So,
okay.
But the fact that they haven't revealed that that's him makes
Maybe
me
they're
think,
just like, we'll get to it
what if
later.
he's both?
Both?
Yeah. What if?
Dude, when does that dude sleep then?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like, why didn't they show his face this episode? I'm thinking maybe it's not because the episode leads you to believe that Prometheus is the son of this guy named Justin Claiborne, who was like a guy that Oliver fought in his first year of Arrow. He killed him. And while we were watching it, you were talking about you missed the season 1 days of like him hunting.
That was
him down.
even right before the little flashbacks. I was like, oh, good.
Yeah, you said that, and then it flashed back to year 1.
It's like, I miss having $1 million.
And like you even said like, you know, him saying like, you know, hunting down people.
Yeah, and then he said it. I was like, oh, good.
You failed the city, and then he said it, and you're like, yay. So this guy Justin Claiborne seemed like a scumbag. He basically created, what did they say, a weaponized tuberculosis, and then like drove up the medicine prices.
That's basically what happened in the real world.
Yeah, well, he drove up the medicine prices, but also gave them the disease.
You know that guy? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that they took it in. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that dude's an asshole.
Yeah, driving up prices of medicine and stuff. This guy's an extra douchebag. Because
do you think people would cheer us on if we put on costumes and go beat the shit out of that guy for real?
We're gonna have to cut this out of the podcast if we decide to do that.
Your Honor, I present to you Exhibit A.
I told him to cut it, but he didn't do it.
Your Honor, in my defense, I forgot to cut it out of the episode.
I just didn't have the time.
Well, I had the time, but just...
not the interest.
I procrastinated, and here we are.
All right. All right, so...
he deserves a punch.
So Billy was kidnapped, and then when Oliver...
he got Mission Impossible 3'd.
Yeah, he did. He totally did. He shot him. I knew it wasn't him. As soon as he shot the arrows, I was like, you just killed Billy.
Yeah, there's no way you would have hit the real guy.
Yeah, Billy done dead. Yeah, there's no way you would have got him that easily. But I really liked what they in the earlier fight scene that they have when Oliver looks back on it. He was talking about like, you know, there's that cool shot of him shooting the arrow at him, and then he throws the ninja star and it cuts the arrow right down the middle.
You gotta be fast.
Yeah, but the thing I like about Prometheus is that's based on his character in the comic, where he studies an enemy.
Yeah. And
learns everything they can do and learns every way of combating that. And he essentially, like, you know, a perfect version of that kind of character is like, you know, the perfect answer to any opponent.
That's what I do.
Yeah. When you go out and fight people, you study their tactics. And
what do you think I'm doing right now in this room?
You've been studying me for years.
I can.
This is gonna be one hell of a fight. But yeah, like that was the first time I've seen them. This episode is the first time I've seen them kind of touch on that aspect of the character from the comics.
Yeah.
Where, like, you know, he does that crazy flip, and then Oliver, it's like slows down, and Oliver looks at him like, you know, like he's really, like, there's something about this flip, and as it happened, I was thinking about it. I was like, what does that mean? Why was that?
I thought maybe like he recognized something,
like a move that he recognized, like someone's fighting style and stuff.
Yeah.
What it was is he recognized his own fighting style.
Yeah.
And that Prometheus
he does kind of do that little flip a lot.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And Prometheus, he noticed that Prometheus adopted his one of his signature moves and stuff, and so I thought that was really cool. But Billy done dead. Oliver killed him. He has to go back and just basically tell his ex-girlfriend that he killed her new boyfriend.
It's like, babe, I'm not jealous, but...
But But yeah, he told Felicity, but as we were watching the episode, you pointed out when he told her.
Oh yeah. Like normally in a show like this, what they would do is like she would get all mad at him, and there'd be like a big split. But like she was upset, but like she also understood that Oliver was tricked.
Yeah,
and so it was
she's like, Prometheus did this,
right?
Like,
which is refreshing.
Immediately she said that, which is nice because
I don't know if I could handle another like everyone's up Ollie's ass for.
Yeah, this is about the point in the season when they need to stop crawling up Ollie's ass and start going, all right, let's work together to stop this guy who's more important than crawling up your ass right now to bitch you out about this. All right, so the end of the episode, I liked it how it like, as he said, Prometheus told him everyone he touches suffers or whatever he said. And then we kind of saw the effects of that happening like through everybody in his life.
Except for Ragman Wild Dog.
Yeah, which I imagine we were talking about. I imagine them just being in a bar somewhere, like playing darts, hitting on girls and stuff, and just. Or is Ragman gay? I can't remember.
Yeah,
he's gay too. Okay, or hitting on dudes too.
Hitting on dudes.
Yes, hitting on guys and girls and dudes.
Guys and dudes.
Guys and dudes. I'm all over the place. All right, but yeah, everybody else is dealing it. Curtis, this whole episode. At the beginning of the episode, he got attacked, which thanks to some stupid DirecTV thing spoiled that right at the beginning because it said, like, the text, like the description of the episode, after Curtis's attack, and I was like, oh great, so Curtis is about to get attacked. When
if we're taking down companies, I gotta listen, Pizza Hut. When I order the $10 dinner box, and I say Cinesticks and breadsticks, I don't mean a double order of Cinesticks. All right? It's enough for that.
Well done. All right. Yeah, I was just saying, DirecTV, maybe not.
Bullshit. I don't want that many Cinesticks.
All right, I was just saying, maybe not spoil the episodes on the DVR. Okay. So at the end of so Curtis, he's having marital problems with his husband. Like his husband basically found out that he was Mr. Terrific. Found out that he saw him fight Prometheus, and I'd be like, I was more like, he
where'd you learn
like,
super
that's
karate?
Awesome. Yeah, basically what he asked.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn how to fight the throwing star killer? He's like, oh, he's Prometheus. I mean, like. Every time they call him the throwing star killer, I want somebody in the know to be like, well, he's really calling Prometheus. And I was like, how do you know that?
Don't worry about it.
I think he prefers Prometheus.
He told me on Facebook. He's on MySpace.
Yeah. Okay, so at the end of the episode, we saw he left Curtis. He gave him ultimatum, and then he said he doesn't like to be the one to give him ultimatums. He said him coming home bloodied and beaten from being out on the street and stuff. He's still the happiest he's ever seen him. And I was like feeling bad. I was like, I get it. He's like your husband, you love him and everything. But for me as a viewer, I'd much rather see, I watch the show because of the super heroics.
Yeah.
I watch the show to watch people be vigilantes. If he leaves, like, stops being Mr. Terrific to be with his husband, I'm going to hate his husband.
Yeah.
And his husband said, you're happy, and he left him and everything. It was a bummer. It was sad for Curtis, but he decided to stay, and he's going to be... What if he
comes back? He might come back.
His husband?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. I hope that... I'd rather
maybe
them do
one
that.
day he'll be, like, in peril or something, and...
I'd rather them do that, where his husband comes back, than have Curtis tell his husband... Quit. Right. And then he starts coming back to the Team Arrow and tries to hide it from his husband. I'd rather see that version of the, like the fork in the road of the two different...
I'm pretty sure he'll be like in trouble, and Curtis has to.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. So yeah, we saw that. We saw Felicity was suffering because she lost her boyfriend, and then we saw Diggle. Lila calls him and says that something's wrong with her son, and then he comes into the room and like just all these guys with guns and all the. I thought he was about to get mowed down. I thought he was.
That's
done.
what it seemed like. I
thought they were about just. We were gonna end the season with Diggle's dead.
Right, that would suck.
In the mid-season, because watching this episode like earlier today, I realized I was like, oh, this is mid-season finale. And I was like, 2 years ago had probably one of my favorite mid-season finales.
Which is what?
That a lot of people hated. But for me, I loved it. The Climb. And season 3 was when he went to the top of the mountain and fought Ra's al Ghul in that badass fight scene.
Yeah.
And then he stabbed him twice and kicked him over the edge of a mountain. And I loved that. Like it was rough, but I loved that scene.
Mm-hmm. I liked it.
Yeah, and so it wasn't that, but the cliffhanger that they left us on, Oliver comes in the arrow cave, and some lady's there. She turns around, Laurel's there.
I don't know.
It was such a quick thing at the end. What does it mean?
Is it just a vision?
That's what I said earlier when we were talking about the Flash. I was like, what if when they threw the thing through the timeline or whatever, it comes through again, and that's like because Cisco was seeing his dead brother,
right?
And everything. Do you think it might be something like that? Oliver was the only one there when they saw her. When he saw her.
That's true. So Ollie's got to fight Savitar.
Or he's working. He's going to be working for Savitar. He becomes the next Alchemy. So he's going to be living like a triple life or whatever. He's mayor by day, Arrow by night, by super late
real
night.
Tired.
He's like, why am I tired all the time? I used
falling
to be
asleep
so
with his eyes open in like office meetings.
Yeah.
Just.
So yeah, I mean, do you think? Let's just say this: do you think she's really alive?
No.
You don't? I think
it's either like a vision or something along those lines.
Yeah. I think it probably is too, which is just going to piss me off even more.
Right.
Because we've talked about it. Laurel is not my favorite character in the show. But Black Canary in the comics is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
And I want her so bad. I want her to be Black Canary. Mm-hmm. And I want her to be a good version of Black Canary.
Not
give me all the goddamn buckles.
You don't want the belt buckle canary?
No, I want the medallion she had around her neck. I want that canary. I want a version of that canary.
What if that medallion was on every one of the belt buckles?
And you know what? Laurel died, and then Flashpoint happened. So maybe somehow you just justify that Flashpoint affected Laurel, but we just haven't seen Laurel because she's been dead.
Well, if it affected that,
I mean, not affecting her whether she's living or dead. I think that the show should find, I think they should find an explanation for how she comes if she's really alive and if she comes back. I think they should find a reason for that to happen that works within Arrow's rules and structure, not have it rely on something from like Flash.
Right.
But maybe because because the Flashpoint did have an effect on that, maybe Flashpoint affected and made Black Canary cooler. And then when she comes back to life, we haven't seen her, so we don't know what's changed, like what the history timeline changed. But if it affected
whether or not she's alive, like everyone else would know.
Yeah, but we haven't seen her, and there haven't been much reason to talk about her, so we don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe him doing that. Maybe she's had more years and years of training that we didn't know about. Maybe when they went down on the island, she'd been training and stuff, and now this is a different timeline because Barry went back all the way to his childhood and changed that, and now I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ways I can get a Black Canary that I can actually like in this show because. It's always been one of the bigger bummers from the show for me. But Dinah Lance is Oliver Queen's like true love. It's like his Lois Lane. It's like his Mary Jane Watson. It's like his Iris West. Or I want to see that be true in the show. And they've only really did that in the first season when he came back, but it was never really going to work out with them. Like all this stuff came up and all this and changed it so much. But now like they have a history. And what they've been doing lately in the episodes is highlighting that. The last couple episodes she was in last season of Arrow, we started seeing more of them kind of growing closer again. Yeah. Not in the same way, not in a romantic way, but just like, having that mutual respect for each other because they have such a long history. And the same in the last week in the crossover when they kind of, showed like in this other timeline, he married her and that's what his life would have been. And while I like seeing that, I want that to be like, where the show heads down the line as we continue with the series. All right. So that's all for Arrow. We recorded this on Wednesday night, so we didn't get to talk about Legends of Tomorrow, the mid-season finale of that. Maybe we'll hit on that next week. That episode, The Chicago Way, looks like they might be putting together the Legion of Doom in that because in the trailers we see, Damien Dark in Reverse Flash, but we also see Captain Cold in there. And I think Malcolm Merlyn is in some of the pictures they've released from it. Good. So So I'd like to see that coming together. And it'll be a good time to do that in the mid-season finale. And yeah, and like we said earlier, we're going to see Rogue One next week. It comes out Friday when this airs. So we're gonna be talking about that, doing
Fresh
a review of that. Yeah, fresh and all that good stuff. We'll try to do a video review for that as well. All right, so that's it for this episode. If you like this episode, please like this video on YouTube and leave a comment, all that stuff. Tell your friends about it.
Comments and questions.
Yeah, if you listen on iTunes, or even if you don't listen on iTunes, go on there and hit subscribe and leave a review, because that'll help. More than anything, that'll help people find the show.
Right.
That'll help spread the word. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Jeff_Grantz, GRANTZ.
I am at Steven Tukert. That's STEVENTEUCHERT.
And theamazingnerdiverse.com for all the blog-related stuff. And yeah, until next week, I'm Jeff Grantz.
I'm Jeff Grantz.
No, you're not.
Oh, sorry. I'm Jeff Grantz.
Good. We'll see you right here in the Amazing Nerdiverse.